Today, I am going to show you how to get your API in front of agents that are already spending. So, quick context if you're new to this, x402 is a payment protocol built by Coinbase. It reuses HTTP 402, which allows payment to be required before it responds. So, when an AI agent hits your endpoint, it gets a 402 response back and sees your price. It can display what your price is. Usually it's around a tenth of a cent or a few cents. Then it settles in USDC on base, which is kind of Ethereum. Like, if you're not very technical in crypto, all you need is a MetaMask wallet to accept this. Then what would happen in the flow is that the data would be sent. And so the advantage is that the AI agents do not have to sign up for subscriptions. So currently 80,000 transactions a day are happening on this. Paddock is what I'm building. So Paddock.Finance is the neutral data layer for AI agent commerce. If you think CoinGecko, but instead of token prices, we track AI agent transactions. So what are the services that agents are paying for? Which categories are growing? Where is the volume concentrating? And how I do this is we snapshot x402 payments events on chain by Base and Solana and aggregate by provider and store into daily rollups. So then I have that accessible through an API, which you can plug directly into your agent workflows. So this is for developers or builders. And then if you're also tracking the agent economy as an analyst, you can use our data. Some of it is free through the LLM. You can just add this as a connector and then start asking it questions in your chatbot. And if you are a developer that wants to know where there's opportunity, or the data reveals that. So just 3 examples of what the API does. If your agent needs a service, you can query Paddock and get the cheapest live provider in that category, and it ranks it in terms of how trustworthy it is. You can also do a pre-payment liveness check. So before your agent is committing USD to a service, call Paddock and confirm it's actually up. And then also find builders. You can find niches. So which categories have a high volume but few providers, and that's your open field. You can query Paddock, find a gap, and build into it. So you can have Claude Code write you an API, which is what I did. So my company is Paddock.Finance. We're tracking the AI agent economy. We're snapshotting all the data on chain and categorizing it into charts and helpful data for everyone. Now, I also made this consumable by AI agents. And the way we do that is we turn it into an API. So I'm just going to copy my URL and show you what it looks like when an AI agent hits the endpoint. So here they are going to get a need an API key or a x402 per query payment. And so this is how it looks. I know for humans it's not that exciting to look at. We like a pretty UI, but for AI agents, they don't really need more information than that. And so what's really great is Claude will guide you through the submission. So here we're going for x402 submission scan by step. So by the way, the scan here, it lists all the endpoints, and there are so many agents coming online and they're transacting on this. So you can click add your API and let's go through it. So let's connect the wallet. We've already done that. You should have a MetaMask set up with a wallet and so that you can receive payments. Find the add resources, which we've already done. We've hit here. And so you can do set up x402 with a prompt if you want to use Claude to do it, but here we go. Okay, so I'm going to paste this URL. Okay, and it is testing endpoint. So the endpoint won't register. It needs to return a payment challenge. Ensure that the X402 paywall runs before request validation. So that's interesting because I had tested it. So I will ask Claude to look at this. Oh, have your agent fix issues with the prompt. That's fantastic. Okay, this is actually new because I hadn't done that before. But okay, so hit a problem when submitting on X402. Pasting that, and then you know how to fix this. Honestly, I'm not even reading it. I'm just letting it do it. And then I'm going to also copy this. Okay, let's see what it says. Okay, so Claude told me to write a big message to Claude code, which I put in to there. It updated my code. Now, if you don't know how to do this, you basically connect your GitHub and then it will push code automatically, which is really great. So you don't have to copy paste. And so finally, they did a PR, which I pulled up here. Hang on, let me just click it. Okay. So yeah, so this is what they were doing, is just fixing the stuff for me. And then I get a preview link. Okay. So I'm going to go to my site on the preview link. All right. And then now I can hit console test. So I'm going to go to inspect. Should close that. Yeah. And then console, and then have the testing. So I want to copy that. And then, so there's a little bit of a trick with this. It says preview. I actually have to get this URL, paste it in preview. Okay, and then copy, paste into. Okay, now it's yeah, I think this is actually the response. So what I do is I'm going to copy that. Yeah, and then I'm going to paste it here. So test one responded like that, and then I'm going to get the other. Oops. And again, we're going to have to do that preview URL thing, which is actually, I'm going to see if there's a better way to do that because it's quite annoying. But just paste that. It says preview, and then there's the API. Copy there, and so say test2 equals, is this ready to merge, which is a GitHub term. So you're basically, okay, so it says both tests pass, green light to merge. So these were the two tests that we ran, and then we merge the PR into the main code base on GitHub, and then Vercel automatically deploys. And then you want to do a sanity check before the x402 scan. Okay, so as an update, I have now put in the URL again. I got a very different error, which is good. That's progress. And so what's been really cool about a lot of websites now, but especially right now we're on x402scan, you can copy this prompt and then put it into code or whatever LLM you're using, and then you can also just copy this. So just copy the error, also copy this to give it a source to request. And so I will have it troubleshoot for me. So what I did is I went to my regular Claude. I asked what it meant. It explained the error to me, and then it says send Claude code this. So all you have to do is copy that and then paste it into Claude code. It is, which I did. It is now working on it. It says pushed the changes. So what I can do is I can go to GitHub, and so So now it's basically, again, Claude did all of this for me. All I did was literally just click that merge button. It is now going to deploy through Vercel. That is automatic. So I have gone to the pull request. It is able to merge. It's running the checks for me. I'm going to merge this. And so then I can go back here and resubmit again. So I would just have like refresh it. Once it deploys, it will test it again. So finally, after all the debugging, I put in my endpoint and I get a success message where it looks like everything is going to pass. So I'm going to add this API, and it registered. So I can view my page here. Beautiful. So we're live. So this is the exciting thing that I think most people don't get quite yet is once you're listed, you're not just selling to humans, you're selling to agents. And agents run 24/7, they make quick decisions, they don't sleep, and then also, aside from listing in these inventories, you don't have to do a lot of marketing. I'm building Paddock.Finance in public. Follow the build on X at Paddock.Finance. Next video, I'd like to show you what the actual transaction data looks like after agents start hitting the endpoint.